Okay guys, in this video, we're going to get after something pretty cool here. We've gone through a pretty tough winter up here and we finally got down to where most of the snow is gone. The area around here has started to tighten up a little bit so we can get back into the areas we like to go. And in this one, we've got the Xmaxx and we have the XRT. We did the winter test on the XRT, but we didn't have the chance to actually get out and put it through its paces in normal conditions. We're not planning on hitting the ramp or anything. This is all nature between the two. This one is all stock, and we did discover that the tires, although they look it, they are not belted. They should swell and everything. We haven't spun it up with those on it yet because it was all snowy and they don't work well that way. Now we actually get to test the tires too. Everything in that one is stock. We'll run it at 8S and 6S. The Xmaxx, on the other hand, is a little bit modified. Now, we did do quite a few things to it as far as the suspension goes. So we did wind up changing the arms and the out carriers and all that cool stuff. Still, the rest of the drivetrain, the motor and the gearing and all that is still stock. So it should be competitive this way. We did have the speed control go bad in the Xmaxx, so now it has a Max 6 in it. This one will also run 8S and 6S, and we're going to be really balanced on how we check these out. We're going to run them individually, then we'll mix the footage up and see how it looks, but it's the impression that counts. Now, when we do these versus videos, we have people say, you can't compare this and you can't compare that. I can compare a Volkswagen to a Mercedes if I feel like it, because if I'm looking at both, I want to know what each one does. Whether they're exactly in the same class or not, we don't care here. It's a matter of, will I buy this one over will I buy that one? This has most of the Xmaxx interior in it as far as the running gear and all that, but it's squat to the ground, it's low, and it's supposed to be fast. This is the first time we've got it into real traction. So we're going to get our run on, and then we're going to come back and tell you what we think. Check this out. Okay guys, I've come out here by myself this time because I want an unbiased check on this. I'm just going to run each one and see how much they respond and how they act and which one's the most fun to drive. At the end of the day, that's really what it comes down to. They're made basically of the same components, so durability should be really similar, except the Xmaxx has been upgraded in the durability department. That's really not what we're here to check this time. This time we're here to see exactly which one's the most fun. We do have some dirt bikes out here today, and of course, you'll probably recognize the area. You've seen it on the channel before. So let's get these things out and we'll see what they're made of. Here we go. All right, so there's the running footage for the comparison of the two, and there's a couple noticeable differences right away. Now, first off, right now the Xmaxx has the XRT tires on it, and of course, the sledgehammers are on the XRT. We ran half the batteries that we were going to run, and we ran multiple packs through both cars, and then we switched them because it's only fair to try them with each set of shoes to see how they handle. Now this one is definitely bigger than this one. It's wider and it's more stable, but speed for speed, these things are pretty much equal straight out of the box. We've changed no gearing in these at all. They're still stock for the stock gear that comes in it and the stock motor. The speed control in the orange one has been upgraded since the other one burned up. Still, these two are real equal when it comes to speed. The handling is where it's different. Now, getting through the natural tundra, if you will, the orange one, or the Xmaxx, seems to get through the heavier debris a little bit better. And that has a lot to do with the ground clearance. So there's a lot more clearance underneath this one than there is under that one, but still, the tire size makes a big difference on that. When you get the sledgehammers or you put just the Xmaxx tires on that thing, it gives it a little more paw, gives it a little more bite, and it can get up and over stuff every bit as well. This is what I always wished that would have been. You know, the Xmaxx has got a fairly high center of gravity, and that's right, because it's a monster truck and they're designed that way. Body, chassis, everything sits high in those, and that gives it that high center of gravity, so it likes to high side. It does like to get up on two wheels, and you can pie out the tires good, and the sledgehammers, they pie out just like anything else, more so on 8S. If you're running these on 6S, they're still very comparable, and we do have a blast on 6S. The thing is, if you run these on 6S, they're a blast to play with unless someone else digs an 8S out, and then yours seems to be going a bit slower than theirs. But on 6S, they handle good, they go pretty darn good as well, and it's a lot easier on the components. It's harder to break them. Now the thing is, this is all stock, and we pushed it hard, and we didn't break anything, and that's amazing. We got lots of cartwheels and tumbles. The video that you saw was a compressed version of our overall outing, and there was more than one involved in that, and we really pushed these to see what's up, and I'm glad we did. We didn't take them to the ramps because that's not what this was about. However, the Xmaxx, on the other hand, you know, when the Xmaxx has the XRT tires on it, it doesn't get around very well in the woods at all. It has a lot of spin, less bite. It can't keep up. It just can't. But on 6S, when you put the same tires on them, they handle very evenly. So that's how you kind of have to rate this. Part of this is when you look at these two cars, which one works for you is really what it comes down to. If you like the look of the Xmaxx, understand it has a slightly higher center of gravity and it's narrower. This has the wide max arms on it, stock. Now the Xmaxx has been upgraded. It has RPM arms on it. We had to change the outdrive carriers or the hub carriers on it all the way around, because what we did with this one would have broke the stock arms right away. It wouldn't have taken that much. All it took was a tumble or two and it would have broke parts. But with the upgrades on the Xmaxx, it held up. However, the XRT didn't need any upgrades and it's still running good. That being said, the question still stands. Which one would you pick if you could only have one? And that's the hard deal. Now, as it stands, holding down third place in our list is the Xmaxx. And we haven't got to go through the second review on this one to see if we can come up in the list at all, simply because we only had snow to run in before and it wasn't a fair test to get it up on the list. That will probably be in one of the upcoming videos. We'll get this one up on the list where it belongs. But as it stands right now, these are pretty equal pegging, guys. They really are. The thing is, this one, it's a monster. The XRT is huge. It's great big, it's wide, it's long, and you do have to carry it when you're putting it in the car. And that takes a little doing, but that's okay. I mean, if you're gonna get a big car like this, you're ready for that. Still, at the same time, The Xmaxx has a look to it that is unmatched anywhere else. You can't quite get this look anywhere but having an Xmaxx. Both are fun, both are fleet of foot, and both are cool when you watch them run. The thing is, this one here, the XRT, lands, for me personally, a lot closer to my comfort zone, what I like. The Xmaxx sits a little tall for my liking. I like more performance in my RCs. This one with the wing on the back, the styling of it, this is really, in my opinion, a lot more comparable to the Creighton 8S up on the shelf there than it is to the Xmaxx, but the build is about the same. The tub is a little different, it's lower to the ground. But for me personally, and I'm not speaking for the channel on this one, guys, for me personally, if I had to pick one and only have one, wow, I'd like to tell you which one it is. But I'm going to keep that one to myself, because if you like one, that's the one that's right for you. What matters to me, not so much. Still, if you like the orange one or you like the blue one, you're not wrong. Both are good. However, I do think that the XRT, which is a newer model, has a lot more durability to its parts than the original Xmaxx did. This is an 8S Xmaxx, but it still had some frailty in its parts and it did require some upgrade. I just think the XRT is more up to date than the Xmaxx. And don't get me wrong here, guys, I love them both. If you want this kind of performance and size, this is really one of the only places you can get all that stuff. You can get it from the other brands as well, but no one else makes an Xmaxx, and I haven't seen another XRT anywhere. There are similar vehicles out there, but the experience you get from each one of those is unique. So if you haven't already, don't forget to bash that like button and help our content spread. We love doing videos like this, and if you have anything you'd like to add, please feel free to leave it in the comments down below and help others along the way. Hey guys, for AJ Jam Studios, I'm AJ saying, keep bashing, guys.